Like and subscribe. Please get look.
The morning consumption of mass quantities. Grid-like breakfast slabs, seared strips of swine flesh, and flattened chickened embryos. I will enjoy it. Good evening, weirdos, and welcome to Total Recall. We are the show that remembers it for you. I'm Jethro Butt. I'm your host. I have the wizard with me. He's your host. We're hosts. Get ready
We
to
come
be
from
hosted.
France.
We come from France.
Oh, honestly, that was the one thing I've always carried from the Coneheads. Has just always been my go-to on where you from or what's going on. And come from France.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I kind of forgot where it came from.
It's a great gag, and my understanding is the French are not fond of it.
Good.
For the ones that remember Coneheads, I mean, it's so funny that this movie even exists, and it certainly wouldn't if it were not for the success of Wayne's World, which was a runaway hit, and paved the way for really no further runaway hits. That was it. You had that one Saturday Night Live runaway hit, and then I think one other movie made a profit, and that's about it. So,
And the rest of them, not so much.
That's right. It's true. Greetings from Texas. So, before we bring out our first panelist, our friend Jess. Sorry, Jess, you're not in the opening credits yet. These things take time. And when I say these things, I mean that I am lazy. Or procrastinator, or whatever. Anyway, so my experience with this movie, our background of that Playboy that features the Beldar, that's pretty much the thing I remember most about Coneheads is this Playboy. I remember that everyone thought it was weird that they were making a Coneheads movie because Coneheads had been around in the late 70s and never again. So this came out 10 years after a failed animated series pilot. This Coneheads weren't taken off. So, but we'll talk about that story. But I do not believe I had ever seen Coneheads ever. So
I had never seen this movie. I wasn't sure.
Mm-hmm.
And then we started watching it, and I slowly became more and more sure.
Yeah. There were a couple things that I maybe remembered from the trailer, where the scene happened. I think when he's inhaling toilet paper or something. I don't know. But yeah.
I need weed before we talk about this movie, though.
Yes, good idea. What you smoking, by the way? I'll pretend we're on your show for a moment. I've got
I'm actually finishing. Excuse me. Finishing the drooler.
Oh, okay. Your
Cheech and
Cheech and
Chong
Chong.
branded
Your
weed.
Cheech and Chong branded weed. Very nice.
Cheech and Chong makes some good weed, my friends.
Mm-hmm. Mm.
I would love a show about the Bassomatic. Or
Yeah.
oh God, what was his name? The salesman
Mm-hmm.
that Dan Akroyd played.
The Bassomat. That's right. The whole bass.
Remember when he would try to sell you Halloween costumes? Like, we
Mm-hmm.
got this one quite popular. Johnny Space Commander. It's just a plastic bag you would put over your head. That, Barbara, that might be the best one. And that is
Mm-hmm.
another one I have
Fred
frequently pulled
Garvin.
out. I will
If they
sometimes,
could have done a movie for that.
yeah,
Yeah.
in class, I will make a fake user up named Fred Garvin. And
Mm-hmm.
nobody ever knows who I'm talking about.
Give me 1 second as I get this kitten um, out of my room because he's on a tear.
I have a service order here that says I am to Roger you roundly. That's a phrase you don't hear used often enough these days. I'm going to Roger you. I'm not sure where it came from. Bag of glass. And Gravy. Gravy did show up after all. Oops, there we go. Bag of glass.
Phew. All right. Okay. That was all right. Got that done. Okay. Let's bring out our first panelist, who is also our newest panelist. And we are so happy to have her here on this show. It's been great. We've really enjoyed talking about movies with her. And I had been looking forward to getting requests for films and getting to watch films that are from other folks' childhood that I'm not familiar with, and I've already had that experience several times, and it's exciting to have that with Coneheads. Something I'm not sure I would have intuitively thought as a fond memory. So yeah, let's bring her out. Here's Jess. Thanks again,
Hello.
Jess, for joining us.
I'm so happy to be here.
Great.
And this was your first pick, wasn't it?
It was, yeah.
Yay.
Because nobody wanted to watch Batman and Robin.
I totally said I would watch Batman and Robin with you.
We did say we weren't willing to, yeah, but what do you remember about Coneheads? How is this a special film in your
It's
memory?
special because I remember like the rental experience. I was with my sisters and they chose this movie. And I feel like the rental experience was just more of an imprint in my brain than the actual movie because I realized quickly that I only really remembered the butterfly tattoo reveal, which is in the very beginning of the movie.
Yeah.
And so, and obviously knew vaguely what the storyline was, but I just didn't remember a lot of it. So this was a really fun rewatch for me.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's a weird question.
It's a fun first watch, like it's goofy.
When you saw this movie the first time, were you familiar with the Coneheads
As a
as a
skit?
thing? Yeah.
No. So I actually, during this rewatch and like researching the movie more, I realized that it was a skit. And I didn't know that. I've never associated Coneheads as like an SNL movie. And as soon as I saw Lorne Michaels' name in the opening credits, I was like, wait. And I paused and immediately Googled.
Oh wow! So
Yeah.
did you watch what skits are available from?
Yeah.
Like I think it was like 76 and 77.
I watched a few of them. Yeah, that was news to me. It's like backwards learning.
That's really cool though.
Yeah, but it also makes sense because again, like when they made this movie, like it's not like society was just chomping at the bit for, Coneheads
Bring
to
back the
return.
Coneheads.
Yeah,
I mean,
this.
it was like weirder than I expected it to be
Mm-hmm.
for like an SNL movie. Now that I have that context,
Mm-hmm.
and that's a good thing. That's a compliment. I was very
Yeah.
pleased. Yes.
Yeah, because they tend to be a little square, frankly.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, I am real excited to watch these slides with you and hear some more about your impressions of Coneheads, past and today. Let's go ahead and bring out. Well, I've got another Conehead here. This is great. I'm going to bring out Bride of Pump
Oh.
Conehead.
Yay!
That is that's Jane Curtin right there, right?
What a star.
Yeah, she's fantastic.
She is so amazing.
Completely underappreciated. I really believe.
100%. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and if speaking of disappointing box office, if you saw the Saturday Night Live biopic that came out this year, the actress that they had playing Curtin was amazing. One of probably the most spot on, visually and the voice, everything. Like, just it's incredible. But she's great, and you're right, underappreciated, undercast,
Underloved.
underloved. Yes.
Well, not in this room.
Well, what did you remember about Coneheads?
So finally, we are watching a movie that I've seen probably 100 times as a younger
Wow.
person. I loved this movie as a kid. It came out when I was 10 years old. Probably saw it in the theater, then watched it 99 more times at my house. And I think that the silliness and the weirdness like really appealed to younger me.
Mm-hmm.
There were, I guess I picked up on more things on this most recent review. But yeah, I had very, very positive memories of this movie. Watched it a lot.
Cool. And so was there a lot of like, I know this movie like the back of my hand when we were watching it?
I feel like I recognized like almost every scene.
Oh, wow. Okay.
There
Awesome.
were a few that didn't ring a bell, but most of them were like, oh, yeah.
Yeah, I love it when that happens. All right. Well, bring out. We'll bring out the. Yeah. Oh, I forgot to mention. Unfortunately, Gravy will not be joining us this evening. We miss you very much, Gravy, and we hope you come back next week. There, nothing wrong. He's just exhausted, which is completely understandable. So, in fact, I think he is commenting in the chat. So, you know, for as long as he's awake, you might get some fun jokes there. So, yeah. Oh,
I
was
was
there?
I was not aware of that, Horatio.
I was not aware of that. Yeah, I did not know about that. All right. So yeah, instead
we'll bring. Want to watch it?
Yeah. Instead, we'll bring out Adam. Try and get this.
I'm awake.
Yeah. Back and forth here. Adam, how are you doing? How is San Diego this week?
Well, we're only a little bit on fire.
Mm-hmm.
That's good.
Could be worse.
Yeah. Most of it is a little north of us, but yeah, we've had a couple hot spots. It's a little nerve-wracking.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Other than that, things are going pretty well. Pretty good.
Awesome.
Well, how are you?
I'm good. Yeah.
Cool.
What would you remember about Coneheads? Like, you remember when it was released, right? Like,
I do remember it was a movie that came out, and I had not seen it before.
Yeah.
This was, I guess, 93. Yeah, Yep, there was a movie that came out.
Awesome. Well, I learned today that its ad campaign involved them putting like fake ads for products, but with a Conehead advertising it, and that they also had Coneheads walking around like in New York and LA.
I could say I did.
Boy, what a good job.
Yeah.
I did grow up with Saturday Night Live, watching it first run in the 70s as a wee lad, and very clear memories of the Coneheads and all the early sketches on SNL. So that much I was familiar with.
Yeah. Well, that's true, but they did that with the Smile movie. They had people out and about smiling. That was cool.
Well, that's positive.
Yeah, and I saw for the most recent Alien movie, they had some people around New York with face huggers on them. So yeah, you still get some of that. So
yeah,
all right,
you get that regardless in New York.
Yeah. Okay, let's bring out our friend Empress Buttercup. Empress.
Hello. Hola.
I surprised you. That's
you
okay.
sure did. That's fine. How are you?
I'm great.
Buttercup.
Yeah. How are you doing?
Oh, it's been a day. We've had a
Yeah.
time today. But I'm here and let's talk about some Conehead action.
Heck yes. Did you see Coneheads when it came out? Do you remember? Had you seen it before?
So I'm a big, I was a big Saturday Night Live fan just of the show. So I am familiar with the huge big name cast that is in this movie. It did sound familiar. And I feel like I remember the teenage kid for some reason, the teenage kid Conehead, maybe just because Dan Akroyd and Jane Curtin were like already default Coneheads in my mind.
Yeah.
So, but it was very vague. I honestly cannot remember if I watched the movie when it came out. I was definitely already grown and graduated from university when this movie came out. So I don't think it was in my, in my realm of entertainment possibilities at that time. So so it sounds familiar. I mean, it's familiar to me. I remember it, but I think I mostly just identify with the Saturday Night Live Conehead skits.
Yeah.
With the OG cast.
Yeah, and that's really when Coneheads were popular,
Yes.
like they were a very popular SNL skit.
And when they were funny, can I just say that?
Yes, they were fun.
Spoilers.
Spoilers.
It is weird to me that they Coneheads happened in the 70s and then this movie is from the 90s. Like, wait, what?
It's quite a distance, I think, quite far removed from the original movie or something. I don't know.
Which is why we didn't get Lorraine Newman as Connie.
Yeah, she was too old to play.
She was far too old to play a teenager.
She does do a cameo at the end.
She does show up in there.
Does. Yeah.
And she's great.
Well, there is an explanation as to why Coneheads came to be, but first I want to bring out Barbara, seventh, but not
Barbara.
leastest Babs.
Brett Garvin.
Yes.
Male prostitute. That's the show that should have been made.
Yeah.
I am 100% behind you.
It's unfortunate they made those Rob Schneider movies and not that, like Rob Schneider basically stole that bit.
Yeah. Hey, how's it going, guys?
Hey, it's going good. Yeah. So, what's your relationship with Coneheads like? 70s one, the 90s one.
I grew up with Saturday Night Live, so I definitely remember all of the, the Conehead sketches, fried chicken embryos, consume mass quantities.
You sound exactly like Jane Curtin.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That's good.
That was what I was going for, because I actually liked Jane Curtin in that skit more than I liked any of the others.
True.
Mhm.
Accurate.
But
Yeah, she would kill it, man. She had
Yeah.
it down.
yeah. And but you know, the movie itself, there were I wasn't sure if I had seen it or not. There were certain things that I kind of remember happening. So maybe it was something that I kind of tuned in and out of with HBO here and there.
Mhm.
But because I definitely don't remember seeing it in the theater.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah, I mean, I definitely think that the film was it came out at the wrong time, maybe.
Mhm. Yeah.
But yeah, we'll talk about it. We'll
Yeah.
talk. We'll get there.
Okay, well let's
It's a
do it.
journey.
Yeah, let's do it. Kaboom. Or do we like this? I like this.
Yeah, I want to
let's-
say this was a conscious choice. Like,
Mhm.
I was not a huge Conehead fan, and 10 years later, I don't need that.
Mhm.
Although I had loved Wayne's World.
Yeah. When they first brought the idea to Dan Akroyd, so that's the first thing we'll discuss is the fact that Dan Akroyd was not the driving force. Let me move us real quick because we do have subtitles. Okay. Dan Akroyd was not the driving force. Sorry. Okay, stop doing it. All right. It was not originally his idea. Like, they brought it to him and he
Nothing.
all right.
I'm definitely not multitasking here.
Hello?
If I'm talking too much, just let me know.
Raise your head.
Yeah. But he did want to get to work on it right away as soon as they told him about it. Like, he was just like, oh my God, you're doing this? Like, he just went right with it. But
I feel like if you went to Dan Akroyd with almost anything,
yeah, I don't think Dan turned down a lot of offers.
Dan's going to be like,
No.
yeah, let's do this.
Yeah.
And he immediately wanted to direct it. However, Nothing But Trouble had just come out a couple years before this. And that was Dan Akroyd's, directorial effort.
And
and
boy,
they were
does
like,
it show.
yeah, they were like, no, you are not going to be directing Coneheads.
Anything
'Cause
else ever.
This
Ever.
actually has, this, early 90s, and this is like 30 some $million that you're seeing on screen here. So this was not a small production. This was a big deal. They had, sets that cost $500,000 that they built and such. So, and they
So the
hired
guy that they-
Phil Tippett,
And the
They
guy
had
that they
every
got to
comedian in the
direct it.
90s.
What?
I said they hired every comedian in the 90s.
All
Yes.
everyone.
Hmm
The
Yeah.
guy they got to direct it, Steve Barron. I didn't recognize his name, but I looked him up, and not only did he also direct Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and one of my personal favorites, Electric Dreams, but also the music video for Take on Me.
Hey,
Really?
He is.
And
The internet is to be
so-
believed.
what a
so
gem.
many more.
Yeah,
This
he did
man
lots of
was
stuff
the
with.
king of the music video back in the
Mhm.
day.
Yeah.
Don't You Want Me? For
Oh, wow.
instance. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
This is the man behind Don't You Want Me. Brilliant. And,
I was going to say, so
this
he's
was,
brilliant.
I want to say, his first feature after
Wow.
coming out of the music video world.
Well, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is what got him this gig. They were
Okay,
like,
so Teenage Mutant Ninja was first,
yeah,
and
yeah.
then this.
Yeah, they were like, no, we don't want Dan Akroyd directing this. We need more proven talent. And the first Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie was a success. So,
And again, those videos.
yeah, he is a successful director. So,
And Electric Dreams was 84.
oh yeah, so
So
that would have really,
he'd
yeah,
been
that would
doing
have been
this
his
for-
first movie. But yeah,
Yeah.
it's Electric Dreams, not really a success, but
No,
Um,
but
not in terms of financial success. Let's
no.
be clear. Yes, that is Michael
Great
Richards from
soundtrack.
Seinfeld, and Jason Alexander and Julia Louis-Dreyfus are in this film.
Although this was
Oh.
pre-Seinfeld, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
so.
And it's kind of funny because he was a competitor of Saturday Night Live for a while, sort of,
Mhm.
on Fridays.
Mhm.
Anybody else ever watch Fridays?
Yeah, I
Oh,
remember
yeah.
Fridays.
Oh
Absolutely.
yeah, that's right.
I
Oh
liked
yeah,
it
he
a
was on.
lot.
That's right. I forgot all about that, but you're right. He was on Fridays.
I would
Neat.
say it's arguably funnier than SCTV.
Ooh, that's a hard one, but
Yeah.
in some ways, yeah. SCTV was more creative,
Mhm.
I feel
Mhm.
like.
More of an awkward humor on SCTV, but yeah,
I
Did
like
it
awkward
really?
humor.
It started in
you
89.
don't say.
I'm an awkward man.
I learn more about you every show.
That's my goal, my friend.
Wow, mission accomplished.
Yeah. So 91, Wayne's World comes out. That movie had a pretty modest budget and grossed like 109 million worldwide. And again, that's 1991. It's a big deal. So right away they come to Lorne Michaels and they're like, you're going to do Wayne's World 2. We're going to extend your contract, but we also want to do more SNL content. And this was Lorne Michaels' first pick. He was tasked with trying to figure out what sketches from the SNL library could be fleshed out into feature films. And this Coneheads
That's
is
why
what he
he's
wanted
in.
to do.
That's why he's in TV.
Yeah.
Hmm.
That's why his specialty is short form.
You had Fred Garvin right there in front of you,
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
and you went with this.
Yeah. You had James Brown's Hot Tub. Now, if you can't get 90 minutes out of James Brown's Hot Tub, but his and what was funny is like he really wanted to play up the immigration angle. He immediately, gets Dan Akroyd to work on a script along with Tom Davis, who also helped create the Coneheads. And they put together a script that they don't like because it does not focus on immigration or the family unit or American assimilation. Is just kind of more about war games and shit or something. I don't know. So, so they brought in the folks who helped write the script for Wayne's World. They brought those guys on to help write this script. The Turners, Bonnie and somebody Turner, and they also wound
Ike?
up thankfully not Ike. These guys, I believe, get along. But they wound up creating Third Rock from the Sun as well, which stars Jane Curtin.
Mhm.
And she's also great in that.
Mm-hmm. She's not an alien.
She is.
She's great.
But there are no. She is an alien in that. No,
She
she's
is?
not. That's
No,
right.
she's
No,
not.
she's
No,
not.
she's the Earthbound girlfriend.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Eventually,
but she is great. Yeah, she's.
she's.
Alien adjacent.
Mm-hmm. That show was some junk food I could abide by.
You had a good cast.
Exactly. That's why.
Yeah.
That's why. I have a soft spot for anything John Lithgow does. So here we see them on Earth in the 70s, 80s, whatever, perhaps it's set in the time that the original skit was from. And she's pregnant.
She's with Cone.
She's with Cone. I know where's my folks who know this movie like the back of their hand? Help me out.
He doesn't have a social security number.
He just starts making shit up.
Yeah.
Like 973B
Well,
point
even
slash. It's
He
very
has
funny.
riffraff teeth.
yeah. Even though he's making shit up, social security numbers that start with 9 are in fact for folks not originally born in the U.S., non-citizens.
Clever.
Oh.
So he does say 9 first, and he
Oh,
got
he
that
does?
part right. Yeah, he got that part right. He says a 9 first.
Well,
It's-
bureaucracy Easter egg there for you.
Yeah.
They did their
Total
homework.
Recall. That's why you come to Total Recall right there. Bureaucracy jokes.
Ladies and gentlemen, your obligatory Adam Sandler
Adam
cameo.
Sandler.
Boo.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then here's little baby Adam Sandler.
Who would have thunk
Well, baby, everybody.
that
Yeah,
he would
Yeah,
have
the-
turned into
Yeah.
arguably one of the highest grossing filmmakers?
Yeah.
Because he
Wow.
doesn't make good movies, but
No.
oh my
but
God, he makes a lot of money making
He
Mhm.
figured out the perfect grift.
Yeah,
his
You
own
know?
brand of junk food movie.
grifter is the word. The ridiculous 6 cost more than the hateful 8 to make.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He got a bunch of his friends together to go on vacation and then filmed a movie, and it's all tax deductible.
Mhm.
Bravo,
done-
sir. Bravo.
He didn't invent
People
that,
make
but
money
he
doing
did
worse
perfect
things.
that. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he perfected it for sure.
Yeah.
And yeah, his Netflix deal is
Wow.
huge, and he
Yeah.
just pumps them
Sweet.
out.
Mhm. And so Sinbad here has been employing him, and he's a good employee. And when he finds out that he's an illegal alien, he's still willing to help him out. So that's the kind of guy Sinbad is. And he chews condoms for bubblegum. That's a fun recurring joke.
Like we all do sometimes, I think.
Now
Pass.
we have the introduction of not ICE, INS.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Immigration
INS,
and
yeah.
Naturalization Services.
Yeah, yeah.
And we'll
Call,
see.
call me crazy, but this is one of my favorite characters in the whole movie.
Oh my gosh.
David
He's
Spade.
he's doing that character
David
from
Spade
Saturday Night
as
Live.
David Spade from
Yeah.
Saturday Night Live.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah.
And you would be
Yeah, there's like 6 or 7 people in this movie who are actively on Saturday Night Live. And there are like 3 or there's like 4, I think 4 people who were previously on Saturday Night Live. And then you also have Michael McKean in this, and he was about to become a cast member. So he's actually a future cast member when you see him in this film.
Oh, shit.
When they do this scene with the border, with the like electrified border fence, I was like,
Mhm.
turn it off. Republicans might be watching.
And they did.
Don't give them ideas.
Guys,
Michael
those,
McKean.
Yeah.
those like file cabinets stress me out. As much as I don't like being on a computer all day, I'm glad I didn't have to deal with that.
I don't know. File cabinets are pretty straightforward. Certainly not anti-file cabinet.
I am. I
If
hated them.
people file correctly.
I hated files. I hated file cabinets.
Well, look, they've got stacks of files that are overflowing the file cabinets, which is what always winds up happening.
That's what I do.
Yeah.
Someone else will take care
Oh
of it.
my God.
Mm-hmm.
I did forget that John Lovitz was the
Mhm.
dentist. That the scene made me very happy.
I
Yeah.
also feel like John Lovitz is horribly underutilized.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I
agreed.
agree.
If
More
you've never
people
seen
should watch The Critic.
if you've never seen Happiness, he steals the film very early on.
I loved him in A League of Their Own. He's
Mhm.
only in it for like 5 minutes, but he steals every scene that he's in for that 5 minutes. It's
That's his-
funny.
That's his specialty,
Yeah.
Here's a very expensive gag.
Yes.
Does it
It
sell?
looks awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, it looks really neat. Yeah.
One of my preferred parts of this movie, I think, actually, is this scene. I think it's okay.
He's telling him to open wide, wider. Great. That looks great. That's got to all be practical right there.
Headrest
It looks
comfortable?
fantastic. Yeah.
Yeah, he's doing a great straight man here. He's doing
Mhm.
a very reserved sort of.
They spent all that money on that effect, and they couldn't get a proper nitrous oxide mask that doesn't cover up your mouth.
Mm-hmm.
And I felt bad that it bothered me, but it did. That's wrong.
Well, then the gag wouldn't work.
Every time you see them, those are different cones than the last time you saw them. At the end of each workday, the cones were destroyed in their removal. So,
Wow.
Dan Akroyd was particularly rough on his cones because he would sweat and it would pool up around the back of his head, which sounds horrible.
That does sound really gross.
I could have
behind
lived a
his
while
head.
longer without that info, in fact.
Yeah.
Don't you have
I
any
gotta-
more like fun factoids, Jeff?
That is a fun fact.
From a certain point of view.
Yeah, I got a visual.
Michael McKean and Dan Akroyd are the only two people who have been cast members of Saturday Night Live, hosts of Saturday Night Live, and musical guests of Saturday Night Live.
Wow.
Oh yeah, they did a Spinal Tap.
They did Spinal
they?
Tap.
Yeah.
That's right. And they've had the Blues Brothers.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Actually, he did a couple of bands on SNL, though. He did Spinal Tap. They had a folk band. I forget what they were called. It was
Oh,
not
the Mighty
one-
Wind.
No, it wasn't
The
the one
Mighty
for
Wind?
the
Oh.
Mighty
Oh, it
Wind.
wasn't the one from Mighty Wind? Oh, okay.
Oh, no, I take it might have been. But yeah,
Oh.
they had a folk band and then one other one I can't remember. Tap was the best.
I would have liked to see a little more out of Michael McKean in this.
Yeah.
He's he just seems a little flat in this. I don't know. I realize he's playing a straight guy, but
Yeah. The hijab is great. This is Drew Carey on film for the first time.
Whoa.
Also, I don't even remember exactly when you see her, but this is the first time Ellen DeGeneres was in a film.
Oh yeah, the diving coach.
Okay, there you go.
Oh,
yeah,
really?
unless
Okay.
you
I didn't even
unless
notice.
you yeah, I mean you don't really see her full face. She's only ever in profile and it's just for a
Mhm.
few seconds. Like you have to
Mm.
be looking for yeah, that was a surprise to me.
I missed it, but I noticed her in the credits when I was reading about it later.
Mhm.
I was like, yep,
Mhm.
missed her. There's several people actually I think I missed. The birth spasms near.
They eat a lot, and when their water breaks, there's a lot of water.
yeah, it's wet.
Les Mis was a big deal back then. You caught that in the city's, like the city establishing shot there.
It still is.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, you're right. It still is a big deal, but there was a period of time when Les Mis was a big, big deal. Same with Phantom of the Opera. Like, it's
All right.
That
It's
Cats,
unusual.
that
Yeah.
Cats play was pretty popular
yes, Cats was
for a
Cats was-
while.
Yeah, Cats was a big deal.
Still I never saw Cats.
My mom saw Cats and she bought the soundtrack and she would get teary-eyed when that song came on, Memories.
Memories, yeah.
And then I come to find out like there's no like real connection to a story. That song is just in the thing. Like it's like, and now, ladies and gentlemen, the sad cat, it's ridiculous.
It's Jellicle.
Angelical cats.
Mm-mm. No. Let's say the J or G word. I'm not sure.
Moving on.
What
And
is
then
a
we
jellicle
have.
cat?
We're not going to talk about that.
I don't know. I've never seen cats. I'm totally. It sounds
I've
weird.
I've
That's
also
great.
never seen Cats.
It's green room. It's green room
Well-
talk. I've seen the film Cats.
No, I haven't
clear.
seen the play Cats or the film or.
I'm waiting for the butthole release.
Yeah. I have seen the movie Cats. Yeah.
Gosh, Barbara, you said you'd been sick. We didn't need that kind of detail.
I enjoy it every morning after coffee.
Mm.
He does like to get right up there.
Mhm.
Uh-huh.
But now Michael McKean and I tried.
I'm sorry.
It's all right. We're married.
There's no reeling this one in, folks. It's gonna run around. You can't stop it.
Mhm. That's
Okay.
Wizard, what were,
Oh God.
Wizard, you were going to mention Michael McKean.
Oh, now I'm doing it. No, I don't even remember how it happened, but somehow they have decided that the Coneheads are actually from outer space.
Yeah, they know that they're
Yeah.
illegal aliens, no matter what. Yeah.
But now they actually think they are, in fact,
Yeah, I forget how it happens, but yeah, they actually do start saying,
Mhm.
spacemen.
"Could they be spacemen?"
Yeah.
They like found their clothes. And I forgot.
Yeah, that
you know.
had 5 otherworldly fibers.
That's
Mhm.
right.
Oh, that's right.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Oh, I adored this little montage so much.
Oh, you like the
Yeah.
montage.
The
And they
Kodachrome montage had my whole heart.
Who
They
doesn't
got-
love a good montage, though?
that's Dan Akroyd's like actual baby.
Mhm.
They put her in a little cone.
Oh, the baby cone.
Yeah. Yeah, this is great. This was my first encounter with this song when I was a kid, and I remember like
Really?
being real into it. Yeah.
It's a good song.
Hmm.
I love the helmets.
Yeah.
Helmet laws suck. Now that's a bumper sticker I need.
Helmet loss.
I just love that the gag here is that everybody just accepts that they're from France.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's something that I feel like it's great because it makes a lot of the jokes work, but it's also like really nice. Like they're weird and people accept them and it's fine
Mhm.
and it's funny and it's fun. Like
And they're also like
it's
obviously
really
they're not
nice.
similar to everyone else. I don't know.
Yeah.
I love fun. Wholesome.
Good clean fun.
I don't
This
know
is-
why, but I got a kick out of the C on their garage.
Oh.
This is the only PG rated Saturday Night Live movie.
So
Really?
in your
It's like really
research-
horny.
Not horny enough.
Interesting.
What are you saying, Wizard?
I was going to ask, in your research, did you find any mention of him getting a deal on the use of the Paul Simon song?
No, I didn't see anything like that. But
Yeah.
you know,
Because I
would
feel like
imagine,
that probably happened.
Yeah,
Well, he
I
would
mean
have
it's
known Paul Simon from Saturday Night Live, certainly.
Oh, they
Yeah.
were really good friends.
Yeah, they were
so
really
it
good
Yeah.
was like
friends.
they hung out.
Hmm.
Oh, well, there you go.
So yeah, I feel like that was one of those. Man, I'd really like this song in my movie. Yeah, here you go. Give me $50. And
here's Gravy popping in with a factoid about the Kodachrome.
they took it away.
They did take it away.
Boo.
They took your
Treason.
Kodachrome away.
Enclosed retail compound.
You know, I was thinking about how you kind of expect the Conehead talk to get old, but it really doesn't. And then I
love
realized,
it.
like, yeah, I was like, well, you know, there's this guy Nathan Pyle who's a cartoonist,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
he's kind of made a career out of this idea.
Hmm.
And like, no disrespect to him, like, it's funny, you know, his strip is funny, and I often share strips that I read of his that are particularly funny or poignant. So, you know, he does a good job, but let's be honest, he just took the Conehead shtick.
Yeah, Strange Planet is charming. It's fine.
Mm-hmm.
I like that she pops her collar like her space clothes.
Oh my gosh. I didn't notice that.
I would like to be able to just clean spark plugs like that, you know, like how often is lawn mowing, you know, delayed because of the cleanliness of your spark plug? And if you could just put it in your mouth.
It's 2 Seinfeld actors, by the way.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Like I said,
One with hair.
Julia Louise Dreyfus will be making an appearance here in a moment, or not in a moment, but at some point.
So Connie's two friends, this was another one where I saw it in the credits and I was like, oh,
Yeah.
that totally was. Parker Posey,
Parker
and Joey
Posey.
Lauren Adams.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Wow, what a fun day.
Those three all play friends in Dazed and Confused that came out the same year. And Parker Posey and Meredith Burke are real life very close friends as well.
Oh,
Isn't that
Love
nice?
that.
that's nice.
That's a nice factoid.
I would like to be close friends with Parker Posey and Meredith Burke. You know,
I would
like
love that.
I
Yeah.
could be the third person in their shopping excursions. You know,
Enclosed shopping compound.
not to be creepy. I mean, I really, you know, that just sounds fun.
It does
Joey
sound
Lauren Adams, I think, would be a lot of fun to hang out with. She's always seemed very
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, I could be a fourth. You know, that's fine. I've got acid washed jeans.
I admire your honesty.
I don't know why.
So something I found myself noticing in this movie was like everyone's eyebrows, and I was like, oh man, the 90s was just such a different time for eyebrows. But then we were watching some, like, you know, stuff about the makeup on the movie, and because of the Conehead prosthetic, they had to like paint on or like put new eyebrows on. So those are all false eyebrows, and that's why they look so like that. But if I didn't know that, I would have been just completely happy believing that the 90s was just a time when your eyebrows could just be wild and it was fine.
I don't know. Michael McKean.
I don't
has
know. I
eyebrows.
overplucked in the 90s.
Yeah.
There was a huge time frame in the 90s, especially in Southern California, where you plucked them to you looked like Marlena Dietrich. You know, and I did that.
Yeah. Yeah, I did too. Like, I guess in the later 90s when I was getting older, but I don't know. What wasn't bushy eyebrows like also a thing? And I don't know, maybe that was just in some circles or just in the South. I don't know.
I know the 80s had that whole, you know, full eyebrow type thing. because
Yeah.
the early 80s had, Brooke Shields was everywhere and
Mhm.
everybody wanted her eyebrows.
Hmm.
Yeah.
In a jar on my table.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, Coneheads was brought to you by Subway. Eat fresh. There was a bidding war. Subway beat Burger King for this product placement.
Oh,
Really?
Yeah.
Look at
And
that perfect Subway placement.
Oh yeah, look the way he's holding it like a baby. And
Well,
oh man. Yeah.
We're gonna
$5
get
footlongs, baby.
the worst bit of CG in the entire movie is right there,
Yeah.
where
When
that
she eats the
floppy
sandwich.
digital sandwich goes in her mouth.
Yeah.
Mhm. What would Jared say?
And now that you mentioned it, I can't stop seeing it. She pops her collars too.
Okay, now I'm looking at the collars. So
Yeah.
maybe they
I
fold
know,
them in
sorry.
public. Maybe they fold them in public and put them up at home.
I guess they eat light bulbs.
They
That's
do.
in the original sketches they did.
Yeah.
I don't think you see it in this movie.
Hmm.
But you do see the cart full.
Yeah.
of light.
Yeah.
They also
That's-
ate fiberglass insulation on SNL.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's a nice little callback, though. Like,
Yeah, we watched a couple of the original sketches, and I felt like in the movie they really stayed very true to those characters. And like,
but they didn't beat you over the
Mhm.
head with that one.
yeah,
We're not actually going to show them eating light bulbs, but if you pay attention,
Yeah, here's a
Yeah.
gag.
Yeah.
For
we know
those
that
who
they
know.
do.
Yeah.
what happened to
Jane
Jan Hooks?
Hooks. She passed away.
Oh no,
Oh no,
Yeah.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
it's a
that's
portable.
so sad. I
she's
always
great.
liked her.
Yeah,
Yeah,
me too.
that's great.
Everything
Me
she
too.
did.
There's no basement in the Alamo.
I love that they can only drive cars that have sunroofs.
Can you say Adobe? I do. I love Jan Hooks. And I liked her
They're
on
hard
Saturday
to
Night
find,
Live.
but I loved her when she would team up with Nora Dunn and do the Sweeney
The
sisters.
Sweeney Sisters.
Mhm.
Yes.
Now, why couldn't the Sweeney Sisters have been a movie? You know?
I'd watch a Sweeney Sisters movie.
Yeah. I mean, they wound up doing the Ladies' Man.
They did. It's Pat.
They did its Pat.
Yeah.
Of all things.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
Ooh.
That's a nice Camaro. I mean, it's a piece of junk, but still.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, the income for Saturday Night Live films did not outpace their budgets after Wayne's World, except for Night at the Roxbury.
Well, we should mention that because
That blew my mind.
Wayne's World is pretty much the tentpole SNL movie, and everything
Yeah.
else is sort of thrown against the wall and not much stuck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did anybody actually see Night at the Roxbury? Because I
Yes,
refuse.
I
No.
did.
I
I
have
did-
not. I have not seen that.
I did. I got drugged to a theater to see it, and I was like, God, it was so hard to sit through because, I mean, the skit was funny enough, for
Mhm.
a 3-minute skit
Mhm.
on Saturday Night Live.
Mhm.
You drag that thing out into a 90-minute movie, and it
Mhm.
lasts forever.
That's what I thought.
It's a one-note joke that goes on for 90 damn minutes.
I just couldn't imagine.
That
Unlike
sounds
this
fun.
movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I was really surprised at how I felt this movie, kept your interest. It may not be a knee slapper by any stretch of the imagination, but I never felt like it was like getting tedious, you know. I actually did rent and watch the Ladies Man movie, and that was super tedious. I'm sure Night at the Roxbury is super tedious. I shiver my spine when I think about investigating its Pat.
I
Oh,
can't.
no,
I just
I
can't.
can't.
No,
Or
no.
Stuart Smalley, for that matter.
I saw that one.
Nope,
Oh, yeah?
didn't want to see that one either.
Yeah. I don't know why. It's one of those. Sometimes you just got to poke it and see what it feels like.
Mhm.
Whoa.
And
Phrasing.
Sometimes.
no, literally, that's kind of what it felt like. It was not in a good way, like you want. It was. How uncomfortable is this going to feel? And it did.
Mhm.
I wouldn't recommend it.
Yeah.
I did kind of chuckle it. I read in a magazine we could talk about anything. Thanks, Mom.
Your cone is
It's
changing.
just so silly. I love it. I wish we got more crying. This cool green tears.
Yeah, these neon green tears that are like staining her pillow.
Mm-hmm.
I did like this scene, though. I mean, there's, you know, these. I wonder if these sorts of conversations still happen, or like, you know, if this is really kind of naive to even. I don't know. I'm not a mom, and I don't have a teenage daughter.
Oh, their
Cone
little head
tap.
tap is so sweet.
I
Yeah.
love the cone tap.
Yeah.
Wholesome. This movie is like horny and wholesome.
Yeah.
It's hornsome.
Do not tell Disney about that. This summer, a whole new PG of Disney. The hornsome cowboy.
Oh no.
Oh, God.
Because my joke was always like, if it's Disney and it's PG, like a live action Disney, if it's Disney and PG, that means punch groin or pass gas. That's what the PG stands for.
Oh.
Those two things. Well, things haven't worked out with the mechanic boyfriend. He came on a little too strong.
Here's Tom Arnold.
Mm-hmm.
Here you go.
Yeah. They get to goof a little bit.
That's it.
Yeah. Chris Farley portrayed Tom Arnold on Saturday Night Live once. So they're
better than Tom Arnold, in fact.
Have a little
He was
fun
a
with
better
that.
Tom
There's
Arnold
Ellen DeGeneres.
than Tom
Oh,
Arnold.
that is Ellen.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow.
Yep. First time on film.
Swim cap. I was like impressed with all of the ways that they were able to like incorporate their cone into their like clothes and costumes.
Yeah, yeah.
And then it had me thinking like, what else could be a cone costume? I didn't really come up with anything, but it was intriguing.
It could be a crayon or like
That's a
any
good
number of
one.
writing implements.
I can't remember if we
Oh,
talked this up
speaking
at
of-
the time. But,
And speaking of, it's
here's
Pat.
Pat. It's Pat.
A lot of people say, "Who's that?"
It's Pat.
And that is not 90 minutes worth of material right there. You know?
Nope.
And it has, without question, aged poorly. Perhaps
Yeah. Oh,
to a
without-
degree
without a doubt.
Stillborn, I think, would be the word.
I was gonna say it wore out its welcome about 30 seconds in
Yeah.
the skit.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Julia Sweeney went on a podcast that is Dana Carvey and David Spade, and I guess they have a pretty good podcast. And she went on there, and she did kind of an acknowledgement of how problematic and poorly aged its pad is. And the guys were like trying to talk her out of it, and she was like, "Don't do that," Like, you two are
No,
gonna
no.
get yeah, they're gonna take your shit away. You keep that up. Don't do it. But yeah, she's not having it. She's like, you're not letting me off the hook.
That Beldar makes some awesome fireworks.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me. He makes
Eldar is a handyman.
awesome firework.
Yeah, he made a single firework that looks like 90s
Only
George
needed
Lucas.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Never really read a Cosmopolitan. Like,
you weren't the target audience, my friend.
No, yeah. But aren't like the articles super randy? Like, isn't there like just a lot of like?
There's a lot of
First
sex
of
talk.
all, Randy, that is hilarious.
Frisky.
Aren't
Frisky? I
Cosmopolitans frisky?
don't remember anything frisky being in Cosmo.
Okay.
But maybe they were just girly. So
There was a lot because for some weird reason, I ended up with a subscription to Cosmo in like 92 that I never asked for. It just showed up in the mail with my name on it.
You had that issue.
I to this day that happens to me.
Yeah.
I went through a year where we got like Vanity Fair for a year. Never subscribed for it. Always had my name on it. Into the recycling bin. But for whatever reason, back in the 90s, I ended up with a subscription to Cosmo. And yeah, all of the articles are like 10 better positions to attain orgasm, and it's that kind of thing. And it's just it's like that all
now that's ringing a bell.
And
stuff.
Yes.
And
again, it's this. I remember seeing it on the checkout stand at the grocery store.
Yeah. And full of perfume cards and randy sex articles.
And quizzes.
Yeah, and quizzes.
So you could get all smellied up and randy.
Yep.
And then take a quiz.
So you can do exactly what she's about to do.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to go out and get one. They still make them, right?
Probably.
I believe they do.
I'm sure.
They still make Playboys? Is that still a thing?
They must. I haven't seen one in forever, but they must.
I don't know.
Yeah. Don't ask
Next
me.
time in 7-Eleven, I'll let you know.
Don't ask me specifically why. It is a Pamela Anderson issue, but the Conehead Playboy, where our background comes from, is one of the top 5 most expensive Playboys, period.
What?
One of the top 5 most expensive Playboys, period. I'm not really sure why, but it is. If you look it up on eBay, they go for thousands of dollars, or they're at least for sale for thousands of dollars. I don't know if anyone actually buys one for that, but yeah.
Wow.
I don't know where his poop goes.
Yeah, I don't know if this was totally necessary.
Welcome, Jennifer.
Yeah, and like the ladies the same way, you know, like
I will
Jen!
enjoy it.
I will enjoy it.
She looks like Marie Antoinette.
Yeah.
They're French.
Which, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yes, that's true.
It's another way to hide her head, you know. But I'm not sure why she would do that. Like, it seems like, you know, they're an object of affection, you know, like.
Well, it's like she's pretending to be someone else, like you do
Mhm.
sometimes for sexy
Yeah.
times. Or maybe you don't. I don't know.
He does.
He often likes to dress up like Marie Antoinette.
I just feel like you're gonna have to take the wig off when you put on the senso ring.
Yeah.
Well, sex is all about taking things off. Like,
Fair enough.
come on,
There you
guys.
go.
Come on.
Sometimes you could put things
Not
on.
wrong.
And you
know,
can put things on.
like a Marie Antoinette outfit.
Whatever you want.
Whatever your cone desires.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna look into Marie Antoinette costumes.
Just as long as you take precautions to prevent conception.
Mm-hmm.
How have we made it this far into the episode? 0 cone puns. I'm disappointed in myself.
Where have the cone puns been?
Does he
Coneheads are brought
actually
to you
have
by
a
Pepsi.
cone? Does he have a cone on under the hat?
I can't. I wouldn't think so. It took 2 hours to put those things on.
He probably had to
So-
take a break, and that's why they have the different costumes so they can hide the non-cone.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like the princess hat. I was like, wow.
Yeah, I
Brilliant.
like that one.
Oh my God! I almost forgot to mention this story, but I don't know like why Dan Akroyd would be running so hot. I don't know like what maybe was going on in his life. You know, who knows? Maybe
Menopause.
maybe he was just so upset about not getting to direct this movie. You know, I don't know. But at one point in time, while making this movie, he lost his temper. And he lost his temper so badly that he threw a temper tantrum in full makeup and costume that then went outside the studio, went to the wooden gate that lets people in. He went to that little booth and he threw the guy out and he smashed the computer and he started just lifting the gate up and letting all the vehicles in. Again in full Beldar makeup and costume, just saying like, welcome, just welcome to Paramount Studios. Welcome to Paramount, you know, like he just went fucking insane. And I guess it started because the makeup crew had to park off lot and they were just getting jerked around by these people who would check you in. And he just didn't really like the way that they were being treated, but it led to like a temper tantrum of like what sounds like truly insane proportions. Oh, and he loses his temper with one of the parking, people or whatever, the gate holders. I don't know what the fuck you call that job.
Security?
But security. He loses his shit on one security person. Another security person is so upset they start to hyperventilate and need an ambulance.
Oh my God.
Wow.
That's the security team you want protecting your.
Yeah.
The best and the brightest.
I want to point out he was in
inhaler.
makeup and costume. You know, doesn't that get any sort of leeway?
That's so funny. Like I can't. How do you take that seriously?
Yeah.
Like, am I
Yeah.
supposed to laugh or cry?
Yeah. Apparently,
Everybody
you
must have
might
been.
hyperventilate.
Well, everyone must have been very confused.
Yeah. Yeah.
To catch
Still,
up here.
I think he made it.
Thank you.
I think he made his point, though. I think he made his point.
It was a
Nice
confluence
job.
of
Nice
events.
job.
Ooh, that's a little. Whoa! Should have rethought that. Okay.
Nope, 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 nope. R.I.P. Chris Farley. Love him
Yeah.
so much.
He was the other bright
Pouring
spot in
out.
this movie for me. Him and David
Mhm.
Spade.
Big
Yeah.
time. Well, not
he-
David Spade,
he's-
but yes, agree.
He's rocking a Meatloaf lookalike right now. As
And
he
we love
finds out, as he finds out about sex the Conehead way.
Y'all keep talking smack about David Spade. We might have to watch Joe Dirt.
Well,
I might have to be sick that week.
yeah.
I'll protest. I'll register a protest vote.
Oh man.
I like that movie.
Yeah, this was this one of 3 films featuring Chris Farley and David Spade, but the only one where they don't share a scene.
Ah.
That guy in a little coat.
That is maybe my favorite Chris Farley film gag right there, is the fat guy in a little coat.
Oh, it's the funniest thing he ever
it's
did.
so great. So great.
Why did we never get
Little coat.
a living in a van down by the river movie?
Yeah, that would have been
Right?
That
so
could have
great.
gone somewhere.
I would love to learn more about that.
Gone somewhere down to the river.
Who does not want to follow that guy around for like an hour and a half, you know?
What do you do with the van down by the river, you know?
Yeah.
Tell me more.
Oh,
I don't
think
know,
about
but
your
that's a
life.
way
That's
of
it.
life
That's
now.
pretty much it. He just lives in a van down by the river.
You can
Medical
create a whole
motivational
TikTok account around living in a van by the river nowadays.
People do.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, that's what the
That-
movie could have been about.
becoming a TikTok star.
Becoming a meme.
All these people steal my lifestyle.
He just goes around breaking their little coffee tables by falling on them.
Yeah, yeah,
It'd be really great. 90 minutes of that. Sign me up.
mhm, yeah.
Ah.
I just love thinking about the way he pulls up his pants. Like it's, his body language in those skits is so incredible. So just when it seems like this movie has actually come to a reasonable conclusion and everything's going to work out,
Aliens.
It keeps
Aliens.
going.
aliens show up and take
It
them
sure does.
away.
Oh.
I like that the aliens don't have the classic tractor beam.
Mm-hmm.
No,
Yeah.
they just have like a junkyard magnet.
Just a magnet, yes.
That spaceship design comes from the '83 cartoon. The first thing you see, they did this like cartoon pilot, and one of the first things you see is their spaceship. What their spaceship looks like. Hey, and there's Garrett Morris.
Yeah, I was surprised to see him, but
Mhm.
good on him.
He must have passed away not too long after this. I mean,
No, I think
he's been gone a while, hasn't he?
I thought he just recently died because he was on a
Oh,
sitcom in the 2000s.
Oh yeah.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
He's still alive.
He's still alive. Yeah, I was gonna say. I think he's still alive.
He's,
The hell is
I was
wrong
gonna say,
with me?
did I
He
miss?
died, didn't
Did
he?
I miss
I
Garrett Morris
know.
dying? But no.
What is wrong with me? I'm sorry, Garrett.
He's the first man to ever play Ant-Man.
Hmm.
Live action Ant-Man.
Wow. All right.
It was on an
That's cool.
SNL skit.
That's cool. I imagine they went randy places with the concept.
Nah,
Ran-
maybe he's just at a party and
Randy frisky places.
no friskiness.
Well, like just on its face, Ant-Man's not a great power. Like, it's like I become very small and more vulnerable. I don't like it is kind of like Aquaman. These are
Oh,
not the
I'm not
heroes.
gonna
These are
argue
not
with
the
you.
heroes I would. Yeah, these are not the heroes I would want to be.
What hero do you want to be?
That is a good question. I guess really like it's got to be like Superman, right? Like those are the that's the great superpower grab bag right there.
Yeah,
For
but
your
it's
all-purpose.
I
you
mean, what do
gotta
you
be
gotta?
too goody two shoes.
You don't
Nah.
have to.
Nah, I don't want to be.
I guess like practically, what are you laser beaming?
I want to be Spider-Man.
It's true. Like it. Now that I think about it, while he does have a lot of great superpowers, many of his superpowers are centered around, conflict resolution, which is not really what I'm into.
I just want to swing on webs and
I don't need to be committing violence.
have a spidey sense.
Yeah. I really like how when they have an old cone head, their cone head sags in the way that the cone sags in the way that you would imagine it doing.
It has liver spots as well.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah,
Thomas, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Speaking of SCTV.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, they just have everyone in comedy in this movie, man. It's crazy.
Oh my God. And Phil Hartman.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
What
Phil
a gem.
Hartman, a wonderful choice for this.
Yeah.
He just looks so fantastic.
I took a whole note on him because I didn't remember he was in there. It just
Nice.
says bullet point Phil Hartman.
Well, I like
And
that you kept it concise.
Oh.
I like how the girl cones are a little more round.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
They're gendered.
Yeah, I'm really appreciating like on the stills, you can really like get a good look at all of the extras in their cones.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Narfel the Garthok. Rah!
Yeah.
That
We're about
that brought me a lot of joy hearing Dave Thomas like pronounce that with such glee.
And there's
This is-
Lorraine Newman,
Yeah.
Yeah.
who played the
This-
original Connie.
The real Connie.
Mm-hmm.
The
And she's-
real Connie.
I mean,
Hey.
she is so great. Like, if you've never seen the Conehead skits from the 70s, they are pretty funny. And
Yeah.
Lorraine
If you
Newman is rocking it, man. She's really good in them.
If you
Lorraine
haven't
Newman
seen
also-
the original Saturday Night Live, I'm not sure what you're doing here at Total
Yeah.
Recall.
Lorraine Newman said my single favorite sentence ever from Saturday
yeah?
Night Live, though.
What
Yeah.
is it?
It'll behoove you. No, I'm sorry. It was said to her. It'll behoove you to care for your uvula.
Hmm.
There you go.
Sound advice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think we had a very brief Tim Meadows appearance. He
Oh, I
came and
missed it.
went. One
Yeah.
of the battlers of the Garthok.
Yeah.
He's like, Like, I think I could take him. Uh-huh.
This is the set that cost $500,000. By the way, this was
What?
Yeah. All right.
That's hard to believe.
Adam will allow it.
Feel like there were some long lunches going on there with the art department.
Where'd all that money go?
Lunch.
Dan Akroyd's nose.
And here is the work of Phil
Oh, look
Tippett.
at this cuddly guy.
Yeah. You know, yeah. Everyone knows Harryhausen and his, mark on stop motion animation, but Phil Tippett actually did things with stop motion animation that even Harryhausen did not achieve.
Well, he stood on the back of a giant.
Yes.
Yeah.
And took it to another place.
Yeah. And for a while there, before CGI, that's what you hired him for,
Yeah.
Wish you still did.
Yeah. He does too.
Successfully marshaled the cartel.
He switched. I mean, he still works in the industry, and he did switch to digital effects, but it was reluctantly and with bitterness, because that's not why he got into the business, was to work with computers.
Right.
He got into the business to do shit like this, and the stills, it's not a very long scene, obviously a pretty expensive one, so we didn't get very good stills of it while we were talking about it, but the stop motion animation monster is
Very
fantastic.
Yeah, it is.
Yes, very good.
A little reminiscent of Howard the Duck monster at the end, which is not a Phil Tippett creation, but they have kind of similarities to each other.
Oh, it reminded me of a Rancor.
That too, yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
I love David Spade just kind of
Look at his
Falling
collar.
back
Split
into
into
what he does best.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what planet he's on.
They outfitted him with the trench coat type thing, which is funny too.
Just
They got
pop
a
your
lot
collar
of
and
just
you're good.
great, visual gags in this. And I would wear a collar like that. It's got to be like a special occasion, because it's a pain in the butt. But
I know that's hard to drive in.
yeah. Oh, Jeremy's saying good night here. So thanks for joining us.
Good night,
Gravy.
Jeremy.
good night,
Night,
Mr.
Gravy.
Gravy.
Good gravy.
Yeah.
Au
We look
revoir,
forward to your
Gravy.
return. Yeah.
Via con Dios.
Oh my God!
Shots fired.
Wow. Magnificent.
I'll see myself out.
And then you see that
I see you're uncomfortable in your prepubescent car.
everyone loves the fact that he says, "May I have 55 words with you?" and then goes on a exactly 55 word rant.
That's kind of great.
Yeah, that ends with the dig at his shitbox car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a very mechanical guy.
Mm-hmm. He looks like a grid-like breakfast slab.
Ah,
Baby Cone is all grown up.
Yep. Oh my God! And now
and
it's
that's
over.
There we go.
That's it.
Coneheads.
What a relief!
There we go.
What a relief it has been to have to learn that Garrett Morris came back from.
From the dead.
Yeah, I didn't know you'd done, and I'm just glad that
Oh,
it's amazing.
can you let Empress back in? Or did
Oh
you?
yeah, I did. I'm
okay.
sorry. Usually, I hear a little audible pop when you if you leave and come back.
Mhm.
It tells me, but I guess I was flapping my big fat mouth over it.
Thank you.
We were so entrenched in our conversation.
Ooh.
Ah.
Gold stars all around, Laura.
I mean, via con Dios, like that. My hat is off.
Your cone is off.
It is.
Well, we're all very opinionated. Pinhead, opinionated.
Uh-huh. I got it. I saw that one.
Mhm.
I see what you did there.
Mhm. Okay, I earned my treat.
Ooh, good one, Horatio.
I did not like this song.
What, the Peter Akroyd song at the end?
Yeah, I did not like this song.
I like the chorus.
Yeah. Well, I'm guessing that Peter Akroyd just hangs around whatever his brother's doing. Like, hey, we're gonna get some cocaine, or maybe have something for me to do. I don't know.
You gonna eat that?
You gonna?
Yeah.
How many times do I have to tell you? Stay in the car with Frank Stallone.
Aw.
Oh, jeez. I'm just kidding.
I know.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Frank, Peter,
It just
don't
must
take
be
it like that.
it just must be tough to live in
Yeah.
the shadow of
Mm-hmm.
of anyone.
Yeah. Imagine being a Baldwin and you have to be ranked. Boy, that would suck.
Yeah.
You're the least popular of
You're
all the Baldwins.
you are the lowest Baldwin. That would
Ouch.
really upset me. Yeah, ouch. Ouch.
You
indeed.
bald lose.
Oh.
Thank you, Jess.
You're not getting your contract renewed here.
Oh my God. Jessica's gonna pass out. You're making her laugh too much.
Oh my God. I just love a pun. Laura,
Yeah.
you're too good.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So, do we need time to cone fur on our?
God, yeah.
Or should we just continue?
Yeah.
God.
It's not a cone test. Everyone's opinion is different.
All right, stop. I gotta concentrate to come up with the next one.
Okay, here we go. Well, that's fantastic.
I got nothing.
Good night.
I hit my peak at Via Con Dios. That's it. That's all I got.
No when to say
That was
when.
the best one.
Yeah.
Yeah. I kind of got that vibe too. I really appreciated the fact that they were nice to Chris Farley in that way.
Yeah.
Everyone was nice to the Coneheads too.
Yeah. Yeah, everyone
Yeah.
was nice to the Coneheads too. Totally PG.
It's
all
a
the way.
surprisingly good-hearted film.
Yeah, which may actually lead to being revisited someday. Like it's definitely possible.
It's wholesome.
Yeah, but yeah, let's go ahead and get to voting, and we'll start with Jess because Jess, this was your first pick, and this was like really your first time revisiting Coneheads since your childhood. So how was it? What do you have to say? And is this an experience you'd recommend?
2 thumbs up.
All right.
I had such a great time rewatching this movie. I think I probably had more fun watching it this time. And yeah, all around recommend. It's just silly, goofy, wholesome, fun.
Awesome. Great.
Great soundtrack.
Any particular bright spots or anything that really struck a nerve while you were watching it, or?
Well, I was hooked from the beginning with the Kodachrome montage. That really, I just loved that so much and got me really invested. But I don't know what else. I just so the way that they talk is just so goofy and silly, and as a neurodivergent person myself, I'm like, this speaks to me.
Yeah. Yeah, that's one thing we didn't mention, but yeah, Dan Akroyd is also neurodivergent. It's not just the drugs.
It's not just the drugs.
It's not just the drugs.
Hear, hear.
Cool. Well, I am so glad to hear that. I'm glad that this was a pleasant reunion. And speaking of folks that had a reunion with this movie, we'll just move on to Bryda Pumpkinhead, who states that she watched this 500 times in her youth.
I did watch it a lot. And revisiting it after all these years was a really great experience. I had a great time. Definitely giving this a recommendation to rewatch. If you love this film as a kid, I think you will still love it again. I feel like we touched on a lot of the enjoyable points as we went through, like the fun cameos, the Coneheads way of speaking that is just winds up being kind of delightful. And also it obviously is a very thinly veiled, I think, story about immigrants that is very in line with my own thinking. Yeah, people go to other places that aren't their homes and just want to live good lives. And, to Michael McKean all over them, that sucks. He's the bully. I think that's a good message for our times. And it's cool that you can also read it, like we were just saying, as kind of a just very inclusive way of looking at difference. I feel like this is a very disability forward film. Even if specifically with Akroyd's diagnosis, I feel like sort of reading the Coneheads is possibly on the spectrum, that comes across I think very clearly. But I think you could also look at just any way that a body or a mind is different. Everybody in the movie just accepts them, which is I don't know, really great. I love seeing that. I feel like we need more of that in our current times and lives.
For sure.
So yeah.
I will add.
I love that, Laura. I mean, bride of Pumpkin Conehead.
My secret. My secret identity.
When they made that illegal alien joke at the beginning, I was like, oh no, what did I recommend?
Yeah.
And then it ended
Yeah.
up being nice.
Yeah, it could have,
Yeah.
it could have gone that way, but we talked right through it. But there's that one scene where David Spade and Michael McKean are on a boat, busting people who are on an overcrowded boat, and
Mhm.
it's it like it kind of comes from out of nowhere, not exactly out of nowhere, but it's not funny, it's almost like a little bit of a wake up, or maybe just what they
A
were
good
going
emphasis
for.
on the
Yeah,
villain.
yeah.
These are
Well,
evil people.
that too, yeah. But yeah, I did really like that aspect of it, and I do give kudos to Lorne Michaels for having that idea when he first pitched this movie, and insisting on sticking to it. And yeah, when you
And
watch Dan Akroyd's material, anytime that he was like helping write, conceive, and write, with the understanding of his autism diagnosis, these the projects that he's really all over are all about stuff that he's just obsessed with and preoccupied with.
Mhm.
And there's like some kind of similar through lines and stuff, but it's most obvious with Ghostbusters, because not a lot of people get obsessed about those 1940s old ghost movies and shit.
somebody's got
But,
him.
yeah, but someone did, and boy, they made some money out of it. All right, Adam, how you doing, Adam?
I'm awake.
Yeah.
Gosh, I'm sorry to rain on everyone's parade here.
That's okay. That's why we're here.
I've got to be honest. Got to be fair. I did not laugh during this movie.
Mm-hmm.
And I hadn't seen it when I was younger. I did get a laugh out loud towards the end. I forget which bit it was, but it was at the very end. And I don't know.
It was
Do you remember the joke?
I do. It was you look uncomfortable in your prepubescent garb. That was the one you laughed at.
Yeah.
That was the one time you laughed last night.
Pubescent garb.
Yeah.
It's a good one.
It felt weird. It felt dated. It felt forced. It feels like any one of the dozen SNL movies that was just sort of shoved out there for a cash grab. It's not that it doesn't have a good heart, and it's not like there aren't some good performances in it and some good ideas, but like the scene with the boat people actually kind of took me aback. I was like, well, this isn't funny at all. Like, this is actually really kind of tragic and horrible. And then it quickly switches to a joke on a cell phone or something like that. I'm like, oh, I don't know about that. I don't know if you need to be that heavy-handed with the theme.
Yeah,
that was a little.
Well,
weak.
you don't come here for subtlety, though. I mean,
yeah.
But yeah, I get what you're saying. Yeah, for sure.
Love the cast. I just felt a little stunted, felt a little predictable. Felt like a couple of jokes that were stretched out a little too long on the runtime for me. It had its moments. I like the dentist scene, okay. But I'm afraid it's a thumbs down for me.
Yeah.
If you have good memories of it, then you might want to keep them there. I don't know. Everyone else on the panel that had seen it before seems to have enjoyed the rewatch so far. But if you haven't seen it, I will firmly advise people against watching it.
Yeah. I mean, I agree. It's not like laugh out loud. Like
no. Maybe better as a background movie, while you're ironing your shirts or something like that. Whatever people do nowadays.
Yeah. Yeah. But one of the things that you were saying, it is sad, like how many of the Saturday Night Live movies just feel like a cash grab. Like,
yes,
they really should have been a breeding ground for, like really cut loose, and perhaps even, cutting edge comedy,
I
and
wish
they
I
didn't
wish that
feel like that at all.
those
Like
skit ideas that worked so well in 3-minute chunks. I wish they could, I don't know, figure out a way to take those characters into another direction somehow, not just a
Mhm.
predictable thing where there's cops at the end, and it's just it always ends up pretty much the same story no matter what. But
yeah,
uh,
it would have been so much better if they had just done Saturday Night Live movies. It's still a skit, it's still skits,
sure, yeah,
and they just
Put
happen
a
to like,
framing device around it.
yeah,
yeah,
but they just happen to like, go places you can only go in movies with properties they already have,
yeah. Maybe
because they have ideas to do that,
yeah,
and
maybe with like a Monty Python sensibility
yeah.
where one set of characters runs into the next scene, and then that
Mhm.
gets that going, and then somebody else goes into another scenario or whatever.
And that was a thing for a while. There were a couple of those. Kentucky Fried Movie
Yeah,
Mhm. Yeah.
like that.
is
There's
totally
yeah,
could have
there's
Saturday Night Live could have gone in that direction.
mhm. Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean, even Monty Python, like, they led a very good example of that. Like, they made like the movie that was kind of like, a reintroduction and perfection of, all the stuff in the TV. And then Meaning of Life is again like just like,
yeah. The Meaning of Life is the one that popped into my head in terms of like
yeah,
the whole thing just running along on these crazy freight rails.
yeah,
Something closer to Hell's a Poppin',
yeah,
where
yeah.
you just have like a merciless onslaught of one person
Mhm.
walking into the next situation, and
Yeah,
everything all tied together that way.
yeah.
Yeah, something was just a
Right.
little flat for me. I didn't hate it. I wasn't engaged. So that's a
Okay, well,
no.
all right, cool, cool. Well, we got 2 yeses, 1 no, and let's move on to Empress. Empress, how you doing? We got
Good.
it's
Let
yeah.
me
Well,
see. Let me
Woo.
see how I'm a little bit struggling with this one only because
Mhm.
I think there's a lot to be said. The good parts about it, I think it's
Mhm.
really got so many awesome actors or stars or whatever. I don't know, comedians, whatever.
Mhm. Mhm.
So I think that's super cool. I really like the wholesomeness of it. I did not like the illegal alien jokes, so there were definitely some things I didn't like.
Mhm.
I guess the problem is that I did not personally like it, but I feel like I should recommend it to other people to
Mhm.
revisit. Can I do that?
Yeah.
Am I allowed to?
Oh
Yes,
yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
for
I'm
sure.
gonna
Yeah.
say thumbs up, and you should watch it if you like Saturday Night Live. If you like, I do like how Laura talked about the inclusivity and the sort of thing about welcoming strangers and all that stuff. Like, also, I thought that those characters were super cool. Like, that was why they were protected and loved by their neighborhood and their community, is because they were cool people already. You know what I mean? So
Yeah. Yeah.
I, for one, welcome any aliens onto our planet.
And
What I'm
so
saying?
does Saul.
So yeah, I know she's having the zoomies right now. Sorry, I don't even know if
Oh
you can
no,
hear
that's
them.
okay. No, yeah. A lot of times when I'm doing B-sides on Friday, Laura's doing a shift at We Love, and I've got to watch both dogs, and everyone's always giving me a hard time because it sounds like there's like a wrestling match going on,
I know.
or,
No, she.
or something perhaps even raunchier than a wrestling match. I don't know.
No, my dog just likes to do the zoomies all the time. She's a happy girl.
Something,
Yeah,
something, Randy.
Um.
something
So
frisky.
I'm gonna say yes. I recommend. Bottom
Okay,
line.
gotcha.
And
Okay,
thanks for suggesting that movie, Jess.
happy to.
cool. All right, we got 3 yes, 1 no. We're gonna move on over to Barbara. See
Well,
what Barbara thought.
this is the first time that I've come to this show with
Mhm.
maybe it's a personal. This is the only time I feel like this is going to be entirely a personal preference issue, because while I didn't particularly care about it.
Mhm.
I can get where it could be something that was super nostalgic and you'd want to revisit again. And if you do want to revisit again, I certainly don't think there's anything anything that's offensive here
Mhm.
to modern sensibilities, right? In fact, it's the most inoffensive you could possibly find. That being said, it's not funny. It just was
Yeah.
not funny to me. Like
Mhm.
there were a few things that hit where I kind of chuckled, but this is a movie that happened way after it was prime to happen.
Yeah.
And that's all I have to say about it. It's there. And if you like it, congratulations. I don't know why. Sorry, Jess. Sorry, Laura. Sorry, Amber.
Wow.
I don't get it. It was
Yeah.
not funny to me.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
I was trying to think, like, if you had taken one of the scenes out and put it in Saturday Night Live, would it be funnier? And I'm not sure it would be, really.
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
So for an hour
I
and a
mean,
half, it's a bit of a
there's
test.
some subtle sight gags like the light bulb thing with some subtle things that were kind of chuckly, but it did not touch anything. And as a mother of a neurodivergent child,
Mhm.
as someone who works very closely with them, I just, bravo for acceptance. It still wasn't funny.
I'm curious, Laura, did you see the SNL skits before you watched this?
I never had, or if I had, I had forgotten.
I think that might be the key.
Might be, yeah.
Because I didn't have
I mean,
that
I
context.
feel like if humor is something that is so individual, like if something
and
makes me laugh
what
that
I
doesn't make you laugh, like
right.
that's allowed. It's fine.
That's that's
Yeah.
what I get. That's what I'm trying to say is like this is the first time I've been here where it's just like it's it's a maybe, it's whatever. It's a you
Mhm.
do you. If you like
I'm
it, awesome.
So if you liked
but
it as a kid, you should revisit it.
yeah, if you liked
If
it
you've
as a
never
kid, you
seen
should
the
revisit.
skits,
But
give it a
honestly,
go.
this was not my thing. And I there were parts of it that I remembered watching it through cable or whatever, but it's not a moment for me to go back and revisit. If it is for you, bravo. But it just didn't. Yeah, it's nice lessons and it's nice messages, and it still wasn't funny. And that's
I
my only thing is it wasn't funny to me.
yeah, I want to add that if people don't know me, I'm a very hard sell on comedy. Like
Mhm.
to me, if you're gonna put a live comedy set or a full comedy movie out, I had better be laughing the whole time. Because if
Mhm.
I'm not engaged in that way, then I feel like maybe it's a little bit of a failure. So I am a harsh critic of comedies.
I'm not a
Mhm.
super harsh critic of comedies. Like if it makes me chuckle a couple times, I'll usually give it a pass. This just was not there for me.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, and like
You
I
know,
said, I have my son is autistic. I work closely with autistic kids every day, and yeah, it's nice to see inclusivity and representation matters. It does. But for a funny movie that was supposed to be funny, it just wasn't funny to me.
Mhm.
I can't say that I think I laughed a lot, but I was like smiling the whole time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think probably the one like real outburst was when Jane Curtin is reading the Bible
Oh my
and
God.
laughing.
Yeah.
And
That
I-
shit.
That was a moment I
So
laughed
good.
out loud at
Right.
too.
Yeah.
It
But
was
yeah, I
brilliant.
was just like really most of the rest of it was just like good
Feel good.
feelings. Yeah.
Yeah.
I wasn't
Yeah.
like I didn't have a
This made
cramp
me feel
at the
good.
end. Yeah.
It's a feel good movie. There you go. If you like that, give it a
Yeah.
rewatch.
Yeah. Cool. Well, I give it a thumbs up. I had never seen it before, and again, like I didn't really laugh out loud. There were some moments where I had a chuckle, like there were some good bits, but mainly like I just kind of appreciated that uh the flow for the most part. Like the movie had a pretty good flow to it. It was never really boring. Um, and some of the gags are they're just fun. Like maybe it's not hilarious, but it is just kind of like a fun movie. But I think it's not something to live up to high hopes. Like I'm sure, like at the time that this movie came out, anyone who was a Coneheads fan was going to be disappointed. Um, but yeah, it's fun to look at. It's easy on the eyes. You could definitely say that about it. Like
It is a decent looking movie, yeah.
Yeah, all the costumes and stuff is just really fun to watch, and it never gets tedious in the way I kind of expected that it would. It does definitely like drag at times, where you're like, let's get this going. And it does have two endings, but since the second ending has Phil Tippett animation in it, I kind of forgive it for having two endings. But yeah, it definitely could have just had one ending and been a 90-minute movie. Like that would have been okay too. But yeah, like I definitely think if you like this movie a lot when you were a kid, that you should revisit it. And Pumpkinhead wasn't able to join us for the first half of the movie when we watched it, together. And when we have two empresses. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, sorry, I have no idea what's
That's
happening.
okay. Yeah, when Pumpkinhead came home while I was watching it, and I got to see her reaction to some of the things that she recognized or lines that she remembered, that was a lot of fun too. So I
Aw.
feel fairly confident that you'll like it if you liked it as a kid. You'll still like it. That's me.
That's
We still haven't heard from Wizard.
Definitely. If you like this as a kid, you're probably still gonna like it. It's. I don't think there's anything that's gonna make you go, "Ooh, why did I like this?" Uh, and obviously, with the folks who had seen it, especially these kids, it seemed to hold up really well. As a first time watch, I really enjoyed the cameos. I liked all the drop-ins. For me, that was the most fun. I love Dave Thomas. Oh, I love this guy. Uh, David Spade and Chris Farley were both probably my favorite parts of the movie. Their scenes brought me some happiness. I was never a big Coneheads fan to begin with.
Yeah.
So, which is why I didn't watch it. I felt like it was going to be tedious. It was going to, you can't drag this out. It's going to be its pad. It was much better than I thought it was going to be. I'll give it that. During the watch, there were definitely some moments of pick up the phone. But then I would come back because David Spade, Chris Farley, the Dave Thomas appearance, always a winner.
Yeah.
But definitely, I think if you've got nostalgic feelings about this film, they're going to hold up. You're going to enjoy it. Come back, watch Coneheads. I would further suggest watch this with a group. And frankly, tonight I enjoyed watching the slides more than I enjoyed watching the movie.
I would suggest watching
I
it.
would agree.
High as
I would
fuck.
agree.
High as fuck for sure.
because we were
Yeah.
pretty sober when we watched it, and
But
feel
then
like
again,
it could have been a little.
I don't think you can be too high for Coneheads. Let's put it that way.
I pretty much watch everything high as fuck.
Okay, here's
Same.
a question I had.
Mhm.
You think if you dressed up as a conehead for Halloween, would anybody even get the joke anymore?
Yeah,
Movie
I think
Yeah.
so long ago
Yeah.
that like people don't know who coneheads are.
Not a lot of people. Depends on where you are.
Yeah.
People of
yeah,
a certain age.
yeah.
I mean, if you're going to a party with, our age folks around, yeah,
Mhm.
Yeah.
they're gonna get
Yeah.
it.
'Cause-
But
That's why you
I just think
go
it's
as a
funny.
conehead
I really
and
want to be
also
a
as a princess,
Mhm.
so that you can have your backup costume.
got
Sorry,
it. Got
Empress.
it.
Conehead dresses princess.
Empress, what was your point?
Oh no, I was just I kind of want to dress up as a conehead
Mhm.
for Halloween, but people be like,
Yeah.
"What the fuck?"
Yeah.
No, I think you
I
probably
work
pull it
with
off.
I do. It's definitely split. Like I have people that are my age where I work, but it's on a different part of the organization. So in my actual area, nobody would get it. They'd be like, "What is going on?"
Mhm.
Because everyone's younger.
Yeah, Laura and I work with a lot of youngins at the video store. I'm not sure that a lot of them would know what this is.
Yeah, that's an experience.
There's one way to find out.
Yeah.
Would I want to be a conehead?
We got 9
Yes.
months till Halloween.
Just get
gonna
like a
sit-
beige piece of like construction paper and make a cone.
It's gonna sit here and act like just saying I work with youngins isn't an experience as well. Like, I feel like hearing that, my ears getting brittle.
They're in their 20s.
Yeah, no, I know. Actually, I work with some folks in their 20s too, and it's always a little mind blowing. But
I had to teach one of our clerks how to use a VCR.
Oh,
I at least know how to use a VCR
beautiful. Yeah, yeah.
and old equipment.
Mhm.
The person who, aside from my wife, is currently my real world I spend the most time with is in his 20s.
Mm.
It is sometimes an experience to remind myself, oh, you have no idea what I'm talking about.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, like, they would watch this movie and they'd be like, what's Cosmopolitan? Like, like how, is that how you used to look at the internet? What is that weird glossy thing she's holding?
Yeah, because I was already 40 when I decided to go back to nursing school.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I was with a lot of younger in their just graduated high school, teens, early 20s, not even allowed to go drinking yet. And there are two things that I remember. One was a young girl saying, "Do you mind if I ask you how old you are?" And I was like, "No, I don't mind at all. I'm actually 40." And she's like, "Shut up!" And for that split second, I felt so good about myself. And then she said, "My mom is 40." And I went,
Oh.
yeah, ouch. Yeah. And the second one was a young Hannah turned to me and said, "Do you like the band Eurythmics?" And I go, "Yeah, I love Annie Lennox. She's fantastic." She's like, "Me too. I love the oldies." And I went, "Oh,
Yeah.
The oldies.
The oldies.
yes."
Yeah. Yeah.
And suddenly
so
I
crazy.
felt like the Wicked Queen turning into the witch hag, and I wanted to poison them both with apples. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Suddenly it's a sympathetic character.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I remember when it started being more like when I'm consistently called ma'am instead of Miss.
Yeah.
That was like, oh no,
Yeah.
really? Already?
Yeah.
Don't feel like a ma'am. It
I love
happened.
being called ma'am, but I've been
You
being
do?
called ma'am for a long time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Was
Well-
not a fan of being called ma'am.
A lot of people in Texas are raised to always call,
Yeah.
anyone man, regardless of age. Like it's not really an age thing.
Well, there used to be a lot more Mrs. thrown in there.
Yeah.
Lot
I
more.
will still tip you if you call me Miss.
Yeah.
You call me a Miss? Oh, you're getting a slightly bigger tip.
That's awesome.
Such a nice boy.
Yeah.
Card me. I don't care if you're not serving. Like, please, I need this.
Yeah.
My cousin once got carded at a beer tree at a fair, and she was like, it also in her 40s at the time. And she turned around and yelled to everybody in line, I got carded. The entire line lit up with applause.
Oh, yay.
Oh, I love
that's
that.
wonderful.
Yeah. Definitely a good way to look at that. Yeah. All right. Well, let's pick a movie. And I remember last episode, Adam seemed to be chomping at the bit. Like, I think
I was?
Yeah. What weren't you? You're like, hey, I've got a list, like you're like, I'm ready.
I do have
Does
a list.
not.
Yeah.
Do you really? When did you
If
start
you
your
stay
list?
ready, you don't have to get ready.
I have a list.
I've got a list.
I completely lost track of what order we're going in, but
Yeah, I have
mean,
to actually.
Jeff has never had an order.
Yeah,
Okay.
October kind of screwed it up, but yeah. I feel like
October was so great.
Yeah, I feel like Pumpkinhead and Jess have picked ones, and Empress. So, like, I feel like it's coming around to you guys now.
All right. Well, I got about 6 movies, but I have to.
Let's boil it down to 3. Let's get.
I have to scratch off.
Condense it.
Oh.
Sorry, last one.
Never stop.
Please never stop.
As long as we could come to a consensus.
Well, if you want to pontificate upon it, we can.
You know what? While he's thinking, I'll just throw one out. We could watch Conan.
Whoa.
That's been on a list. Good call, Mick. Good call.
That brings
All
the
right.
last few movies into alignment with the cones and the cavemen.
Oh, yeah.
Or like,
Ooh.
I don't know. I guess cavemen, barbarians, like.
I was just making a pun.
Similar.
but
It was
that
a
actually
pun.
fits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That actually fits.
No, I know, but it has layers.
It does. That's what I'm
That's
saying.
fate.
That was accidental, but wow.
No, it's fate.
All right, so I want to go ahead and scratch off the ones that I already know my vote for.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. Yeah, let's get some mystery titles in there.
The ones that I've seen most recently, we'll push those aside.
Will you tell us what they are?
I will after we vote.
Okay.
How about that? They're pretty weird ones. The Keep.
Oh.
If anyone remembers that.
Yeah, actually, yeah. That's
I have
that's
fond
actually,
memories of that.
yeah.
Oh, 1983. Yep.
Stop motion horror. Young people.
Ian McKellen.
Yeah. Yeah. Creepy stuff.
Yeah.
The other two.
Michael Mann?
Michael Mann, yeah.
Holy
Tangerine
shit.
Dream.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I have never even heard of this. This looks interesting.
It's a sleeper.
Yeah,
I've
it
seen
didn't
at the
do
video
well.
store.
Yeah, it didn't do well. It wasn't really a popular film. Yeah, but
I don't know what else came
Sounds
around
cool.
that time, but yeah, it didn't do well. Kind of went under the radar. And the other two are comedies.
Mm-hmm.
So one is Under the Rainbow.
Oh man, we were talking about this recently too.
Yeah, that has come up in a couple of discussions.
Yeah.
Well,
Oh, because Corky, from Caveman, the actor Corky, he's in Under the Rainbow. He has,
Oh,
he's
that's
like the
right.
one little person caveman. Yeah.
I wonder if that's
but
what.
yeah, it did make me very, very interested in seeing Under the Rainbow again, because that is a movie that I saw as a kid several times. Probably Cable's fault.
Yeah, Cable, very, very much a Cable movie.
Mhm.
And I have mixed memories of that one.
Mhm.
I do remember some awkwardness there, but we get Carrie Fisher.
Yeah, I remember Billy Barty is in it, and I fucking love Billy Barty.
I think every little person in Hollywood at that time is in this movie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's every single little person actor you've ever seen.
And if you don't know, Under the Rainbow is a little spin-off about the production of The Wizard of Oz.
Mm-hmm.
And it's sort of a madcap backstage thing. And then the
that
third
sounds
one is Bugsy Malone.
Ooh.
Bugsy Malone.
I remember Bugsy Malone.
Yeah.
You remember it?
I do.
Scott Baio, I believe.
A young God, what's her name now? I can't remember.
Jodie Foster.
Jodie Foster, yes, a young Jodie Foster.
Right.
Was Christy McNichol in that one too?
Or was it Madonna? I thought
No,
Madonna.
this is way before Madonna. It's all kids.
It's a
doing
kids
gangster
movie where kids play gangsters in pedal cars and using whipped cream guns.
Wow.
And it's a bit of a musical.
Yeah.
Oh, a musical.
Wow. Very
I like
strange
a bit of a
film.
musical.
I haven't seen this one in a long time.
As I remember it, it was trippy as fuck.
Yeah, it's very odd. There's nothing like it.
And yet they showed it back when the Draft House was doing the kids show. They do an early Saturday. Kayla Cromer would dress up and do things. In fact, I think she was programming it, and they showed it has the Alamo Kids movie. And we almost went. I came really close to going because it sounded fun.
Yeah, that sounds really interesting. Like I don't know.
I have fond memories of Bugsy Malone.
I do too, but they're very distant memories.
Yeah, I haven't seen it since it came out, essentially.
Yeah, it had that really weird cool factor for kids because it was kids doing stuff they shouldn't have been doing, but it was all kind of like nice down, like G-rated gangsters.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a weird one. I'm totally down for that, or the other two. Discuss.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think I'm gonna vote for Bugsy Malone. When I
vote Bugsy.
I vote Bugsy.
Yeah,
I vote Bugsy.
When you said Under the Rainbow, like my heart was like, yes, definitely Under the Rainbow. And then you pulled that wild card out, and I'm like, I've got to see this wild card. I've got to I almost wonder if I have some like memory, in the back of my mind of it. But yeah, I've got to see this. Got to see it.
And I will be high for this viewing. I promise.
And it's a hard choice for me because honestly, I have this weird. I like watching things with little people in them.
Well, we could stick a pin in Under the Rainbow.
Like
little people hitting each other. That's what I like.
I'm voting for Under the Rainbow.
Time Bandits. That's Time
Bandits. All right.
I'm voting
That's
for
my
the
vote.
Cave. Obviously we're not going to watch that, but I'm so intrigued.
Well, we could stick a pin in that as well. It's not going anywhere.
Yeah.
And stay on the list.
Anybody in Austin, we have all 3 of these films at We Love Video.
Oh, wow.
Come rent them.
Come be a member. Rent all the
Hey.
movies.
You cannot be a Chevy Chase completist without Under the Rainbow.
This is true.
Oh, I fucking love Chevy Chase.
Young Chevy Chase is,
He's a god.
Yeah. I know he's an
Don't
egotistical bastard, but some
Right.
of that was warranted, you know.
Some of it. Some of it was just pills.
Yeah. Well, I think
Some of it
I
was just
think-
that chin dimple.
And he's,
Mhm.
you know, he's got some mental issues. But so do a lot
Oh
of
my
us.
God.
Wow.
What happened?
okay?
That
Are
was
you
fun.
okay?
Who, everybody,
Everybody all right there?
Did your chair break?
who
It's
is
the
that?
dog's fault. That's pumpkin.
Bride,
Neck,
are you okay?
Oh yeah. My
No,
dog just
Oh,
jumped off my lap and was
Oh,
tangled up
yeah.
in my headset cord. I am gonna go let her out. She keeps being antsy. It sounds like we
Yeah.
have our movie, but I'll be right back.
Okay. Yeah. I think that the majority of the votes were for Bugsy Malone. Correct?
Bugsy.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Bugsy.
Yeah, sounds super cute.
Well, that is exciting. Scott Baio, Jodie Foster, and Bugsy Malone coming at you. Will be everybody I trust is okay with the 5th is what we're looking at for broadcast. And of course, we'll talk in the green room about when we'll watch it.
Yep, I'm good for the 5th.
Okay.
I think I'm good
excellent.
for the 5th.
yeah, I think I am too.
There shouldn't be anything in my way.
All right. Well,
I don't think I have anything until March.
cool.
Okay.
I'm kind of in that same. I'm in that same boat actually. I don't really have anything going on in my life at all until March. Just going to be a gray fog for a little while.
We won't
Well,
talk
there's a lot
about the
going
end
on
of
with
my
the video
February,
store.
but
Yeah.
Did you guys get snow or ice?
We did.
Yeah, we got a little snow. We got a nice little dusting, and it was cute. You know, you couldn't pack it at all, but it was nice to see. You know,
Yeah. Awesome.
it makes because I hate the cold and my skin gets all fucked up. But
It's terrible. I know my hands are about to crack. We've been 0 degrees and below. We've been -6 the last 4 days.
it
that's
was
terrifying.
-16 when I woke up.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's more
it's not
terrifying.
fun. It's not fun.
Yeah, my
Negative
sister that
16.
lives in the Gulf of at the Gulf of Mexico got like a foot of snow. And I'm like,
Whoa.
No,
what in
thank
the
you.
world?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna
My
pass.
best friend that's in Chicago didn't get a storm. It's just cold there. And it was like -12 last night.
Yep.
Nope.
It's probably feels colder there in Chicago because it's very humid. It's cold, like it's wetter. You know what I mean? It's more humid.
You got
so-
that
It's the
wind.
lake
They got
effect.
that wind. Yeah, the lake
Yeah.
has like a wind tunnel effect that fucks up
Lake
Chicago and Milwaukee.
It's
Yeah,
called the lake effect. And
It's
it's,
called
a
the lake
real
effect.
thing.
It happens in Buffalo.
yeah.
It's a
Yeah,
real
Buffalo.
thing.
All right.
All
Well,
right.
We're gonna head on out, everybody. Thanks so much for joining us. I want to thank Horatio for hanging out. I want to thank Eraserhead for joining us. I want to thank Terry. You guys are great. Jen, thanks for popping in. It's always good to see you. And thanks you guys for chatting it up and keeping the stuff fun. Really enjoyed it. Had a great time talking about Coneheads. And I will echo what Wizard said. I laughed a lot more tonight than I did.
Watching the movie.
Yeah.
But that's not unusual for this show. Always have a great time. So
Not unusual.
thanks again for joining us, everyone on the
It's a
panel.
great
and
confluence of friends.
yes,
Thank you.
It's my last one. It's the only one I got.
A cornucopia of friends.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
right.
God.
That's right. And again, special thanks to Jess for her first Total Recall pick.
Yay!
Great
Yay!
job. Great pick. All
And
right.
it was mostly totaled.
Yes, it was. Yes, indeed. All right. Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Good
Bye.
night.
Bye.
Bye.
Like and subscribe. Please help.
Please help.